Simpsons Index, an online spreadsheet that is also a podcast. This is the podcast. And we are live. This is episode 18 of the Simpsons Index. Hello, I am your host, Elliot J. O'Neill, and joining me tonight is...
They call me the Beer Baron.
And...
They just call me Phil, because that's my name.
Accurate, you gotta like that.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Alright, and we just watched season 9, episode 5. Guys, what'd you think?
Cartridge family, really liked it. It was a very old school, kind of classic Simpsons. I think it was pretty much full of jokes the whole way through. It was always, there's always a laugh in there.
Yeah, that's the great thing about doing this and looking at it with a critical lens is that story-wise, it's good and tight, and then joke-wise, it's wall-to-wall. It's fantastic.
What really impressed me was how like each joke seemed like a sequence. Like it set up like 2 or 3 jokes that would come after it. Like so for those, and also like, which is actually pretty impressive for a season 9 episode, because this is where most people consider the series to start going downhill.
Most Simpsons scholars say 9 is the last great one, or if that, they say 8 is the death.
Well, yeah, because like 9 episode 2 is The Principal and the Pauper, which is the one where we find out Skinner was always Armin Tanzarian, and lots of people hate that for some reason.
Yeah, well,
I wonder why.
Okay.
In the hell's Armin Tanzarian?
Oh, you haven't seen that
Principal
episode?
Skinner's real name. It's
right.
Yeah, so in terms of plot, it's stupid. I do remember there's some good jokes coming out of that one. We'll review it when we get there, but
right.
So a lot of people consider season 9 to be the end of the golden age.
The jumping of the shark.
Yeah.
Right.
But no, this is like still, in my eyes, definitely a classic.
Yeah, well, that's something I thought of, and then I'm going to be very curious to see in 4 years when we finish all this, is what's the last cubic zirconia? At the moment, it's season 12, HOMR.
Yeah.
But I'm very curious, when is the last truly great episode?
No, absolutely. And like you can already see on the index where the shift is around 13 and 14.
Definitely.
Like it's pretty amazing. Like,
It's a long time to keep the jokes running, 13, 14 years.
Yeah, but no, this was definitely one where they were still showing their strength. And yeah, this is a John Swartzwelder as well.
Schwartzwelder.
Classic Swartzweldian.
Schwartzy.
To his friends, he was just Schwartz.
He's just a Schwartz.
So yeah, anyway, haven't even done the brief synopsis yet. So basically, yeah, this is the one where Homer gets a gun.
Yeah, very, very topical.
Yeah. And
Okay, you know what's stupid? When was this released?
98.
Yeah, gun control is still topical.
Yeah. It's never going
Maybe
away.
97. Yeah. Like, yeah, it's amazing. 18, 19 years later. Fuck.
Yeah, it could still sit up there right now for all the, especially I think was Moe's comment about how assault rifles are there for killing superpower animals like electric eel and flying squirrel.
He's got assault rifles have got a bad name recently.
Recently.
Lenny,
Yeah. Oh, it's incredible how scarily relevant it is.
Never change, America. Never change.
You're doing great.
They won't, don't worry.
Yeah, so starting out in the episode...
Was that your beer hitting the microphone?
No, it was my beer hitting the microphone stand.
Oh, okay.
I'm more professional than that. Thank you.
So the episode starts out with the soccer game, and I love this whole thing because I've never been a soccer person. I haven't really ever been a sports person, but especially not soccer.
Jeez, a guy who sits around reviewing The Simpsons, not a sports guy?
Go figure.
I know.
Yeah, surprises every day.
So yeah, I don't enjoy it because it is a low scoring, not that eventful sport, and they completely just say that in so many funny.
Yeah, it was all the tropes of an American, or especially early '90s American view on soccer before they hosted the World Cup and it got popular over there. It's like all the players were the famous players were the same kind of name. Was like Jimenez, Jones, too.
Nodding.
There was
Were you a soccer fan?
No, absolutely not. I
awareness.
dislike it for all the reasons that they make fun of. You know? I love the announcer went, will there be low scoring and ties? You bet.
Yeah. And the other announcer, that's the other thing about the sequential jokes. You know, Kent Brockman, they're watching the match, everyone gets bored, and he starts going,
Center passes the ball.
Yeah.
Forward passes to wing, wing back to center. Center holds it.
And then the excited
holds it.
announcer
Wing to center, center to wing to Henderson, back to center holds it. Yeah.
It's fantastic, like set 'em up and knock 'em down style humor that I love about this episode, and also a fresh take on, like, Springfield has had many riots. They have not had a riot yet because something was boring.
Yeah, that's true. And it's also an interesting start to the episode because from the beginning where it goes, the new soccer team's coming in and there's a riot, you never think ahead to go, well, this is why Homer would buy a gun. It comes up. Yeah. It's organic, but it's not obvious.
And that's the interesting contrast, because as we go on, we find a lot of them, the latter episodes that we tend to hate, tend to be 10 minutes of just random bits and pieces happening before you finally get to the main plot line and the crux of the episode. Whereas this, it starts off somewhere very different, but you so organically get to the point of, because the riot breaks out, it leads on into the night. As Kent Brockman says, what starts out as a normal soccer riot has developed into anarchy.
Yeah, it's actually something, like, I'm glad you pointed it out, because it wasn't obvious to me that, and it's something I'm so quickly critical of, where the first act is so disjointed and separate from what else happens in the episode. Yeah, this one, you're right, totally organic and everything. Yeah,
like you don't ever, there's not a moment where you go, well, that doesn't make sense. Why would he get a gun? Because people break into other people's houses, they speak to a security firm, they quote them $500. That's too much for Homer. He's got to wait for the gun. Decides to get a gun. He has to wait for it, which I think was excellent. I love that sequence where he's waiting for 5 days.
Yeah.
And he's sitting out the front lawn in a chair, and there's just a bunch of targets, like ducks and the target truck. Patty and Selma. Ned Flanders goes past twice. And it's like, I just want to shoot things.
Yeah, absolutely. And the ex-con security bit where he goes, surely you can't put a price on your family's safety. And he goes, I didn't think so either, but here we are.
Yeah, I did.
That is one that just sticks in my head constantly. Like, just the phrasing of, I didn't think so either, but here we are.
Yep, I've definitely used that myself in other things. Just, I thought this was important to me, yet here I am.
Yeah. And so, after the soccer riot and after ex-con, quotes in $500, he decides, I'd like to get a gun, please. Which, again...
Phrase that correctly. I'd like your deadliest gun, please. Aisle 2, next to the sympathy card.
Next to the sympathy cards.
Yeah. Yeah, another great appearance by Raphael in one of his many, many jobs.
Many.
A great appearance by Pele as well at the soccer game, who says,
Yeah.
I'm king of the soccer. But if you're king of the kitchen, use this kind of wax paper. And then someone just turns around and gives him a giant bag of money.
Yeah.
There need to be more bags of money in real life. I'm very tired of not having them.
I'm pretty sure that was him doing a guest voice as well. And, like, the thing that I hate about when sports stars guest, they really don't know how to, like, talk on a voice animation.
They're good at kicking and running. They're not good at talking and being funny.
Yeah. And, like, even musicians, like, you notice on The Simpsons are better than voice acting than the sports stars are. But this was, like, particularly appropriate for him to be, like, giving a stilted, stunted delivery. Like, because he's meant to be, like, awkwardly advertising something and getting a big bag of money for it.
So they really just cast him well rather than he did a good job of seeming
inept. Pretty much. Yeah. It was the appropriate situation for him.
I did like, just after Homer gets a gun, they reference, I thought, when Maggie shot Mr. Burns, and Homer goes, I thought Smithers shot Mr. Burns.
That would have made a lot more sense.
Chris just goes, that would have made a lot more sense. And you're like, yeah, fair enough. Yep. So I don't know when was the shooting of Mr. Burns? Was that
that was over season 6 and 7, so 2 years earlier. So
2 years later on, they're still referencing the controversy that was Maggie shooting Mr. Burns.
Yeah. Which had the very early internet up in very little arms back then.
Yes, well, I had not many arms to do,
Yeah.
Tiny internet, so few cat videos.
Couldn't even do it then.
Videos, yeah.
What?
Yeah, first video on YouTube was one of a rhino or a hippo, I think.
Did they not know what a cat was?
No, they did, but no one likes cats, so they were slow to get on there.
That was what the research showed at the time.
Research shows.
Rhinos, that's where it's at.
Flying squirrels.
Sure, isn't the first JPEG ever sent, like, of a coffee pot?
No. It's the first 3D animated object was a tea kettle, and they referenced that in the 3D episode of the Simpsons Treehouse of Horror. Anyway, another thing I really liked about the episode was all the sign gags. When they're going to the soccer game, there's the Monsters of Poetry on the night after the soccer. The ex-con security systems, that's great.
I want to see the ad for, like, monsters of poetry.
Yeah.
Poetry. There'll be stanzas.
They do love a good tonight, the thing that we're here to see tomorrow night, and then a gag on a sign. The Simpsons.
Absolutely.
The church always has them. Town hall always has them, and usually it's tonight town hall meeting for the whole town. Tomorrow night spraying for syphilis.
Yeah. And then funny store names as well. Like the gun shop was called Bloodbath and Beyond.
Yeah.
Like
that's what's great about these ones. There's so many quick lines, and none of that just it's lines that didn't have to be funny, but just like when everyone's tired of soccer and they decide to leave, and Flanders goes, now there are exits for everyone.
Yeah.
Or Kent Brockman going, Mayor Quimby has declared mob rule. It's every family for themselves for the next 5 years.
I did like the mob rule. That was it's a good change.
It's like a mayor declares mob rule.
Yeah, and another one where they can reference the character, have the character not be there at all, and like you understand why it happened. Like, yeah, it's fantastic. So yeah, Homer gets the gun, and man, I love his typical American defense of it. You know, it's a tool, but he actually uses it as a tool.
Yeah, that's true.
No, I will forever love when Lisa's like, Dad, the Second Amendment was more about, it's an archaic rule. And I was like, oh, you couldn't be more wrong, Lisa. If I didn't have this gun, the King of England could come in right now and start pushing you around. Is that what you want? Yeah. Huh? Is it? And it gets referenced later in when Homer's using it as a tool to open up beer and go, listen, buddy, guns are used for protection, hunting dangerous or delicious animals, and keeping the King of England out of your face.
Yeah, I did like that. The recall was excellent.
Again,
the callback.
It's so good when the episode has a memory like this. It makes the jokes that more important. And yeah, it could have been a ridiculous throwaway line that might have been quotable, keeping the King of England out of your face. But they reinforce it, and it makes it all the better.
It's so well known that that's one of the three reasons you get.
Yeah, one of the good arguments for having a gun. It's not just Homer making up rubbish.
It's like in the NRA bylaws, probably.
Yeah, definitely. It's like King of England, out. Oh, I don't have to. I'm the King. I've got a gun. God damn it.
But as though the King of England is just going door to door, just like, can I invade here? We have a gun. Oh.
Well, I mean, really, what's King Philip, Prince Philip, whatever his name is, been doing lately? Nothing. He's just wandering around.
Well, everyone's in America's got guns. It's not like,
and that's why he was a troublesome door knocker up until that point. Can I speak to you about our Lord Jesus Christ? I have a gun. Damn it, again.
But I have a crown. Doesn't matter, gun.
Gun trumps crown.
I should really remember to preload my bayonet while I go this. And the other sequence joke that I liked was the Homer shooting the plates, and then they're meeting dinner out of various, like a colander and a milk glass and all that.
And then again, it's got a great it didn't have to be funny gag of Marge goes, oh, so where am I at my dinner place? Homer goes, you probably left them at work. Yeah. Like, it could have just been don't know, but it was way funny.
Especially because Marge doesn't even work. Yeah. It's like the thought of, it's ridiculous that she would have taken her plates to work.
Yeah.
Also,
but then double by...
But yeah, a joke to perfectly leading them into, hey, who's hosting the next NRA meeting? Setting up. Like, it's so good, the setup, knockdown stuff. It's like, they don't stop to explain the plot points like newer episodes. And it's really, really smart writing.
And I also really liked, and this is not a very Simpsons thing to do, this is more of a Family Guy in the future, where Homer walks into the Quickie Mart twirling his gun. And he's like, take all the money. And he's like, what would my life be like if I robbed the Quickie Mart? And he has like a 3-second flash of him and Marge standing in front of a mansion. Marge is in like a go-go outfit just dancing. And he's in a rocking chair with a top hat and a tuxedo and a monocle just spinning his gun.
And don't forget he's got a sash that says Senator.
I didn't see that.
It's just, perfect. Like,
and that's not something I've seen them do very often, is like a alternate timeline, different dream sequence.
The way I think that would different to like a Family Guy cutaway is when you come back, Homer's like, I'll do it. I'll rob the Quickie Mart. Oh, and he's already bought a hot dog and is leaving.
Like, it still comes back into the part of the story. Whereas like I think Family Guy comes back and they've used that to transfer to either the same place or they've gone to a wholly
they'll move to the next set piece or something. Yeah,
and also that was like just one of the gags in it, rather than that's where all the gags live, is in a parallel dimension that they have to throw to all the time.
But where it's better as well, it's not a cutaway gag. Remember the time when it's like it's a flight of fantasy gag.
Yeah, the remember the time gag in Family Guy gets old pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Like that time and I something Lindsay Lohan and something Batmobile.
Yeah.
And that's where the joke lives rather than in the actual
Yeah,
story.
in the organ,
Yeah. And, oh God, I could bitch about Family Guy for ages.
Not
Do
the Family Guy
it.
Index.
No, I'm never doing that. It turns to shit so quickly.
What are you going to do in 7 years' time when you finish this one?
Literally 4 years, so we've done the math.
Yeah, but math's not your strong point.
Yeah, I've still done it.
What else?
Just before we hit the questionnaire, I love the emotional stakes in it where it does feel like a new low for Homer, and not in the sense like he's like lowered the bar again. It's just a different low, that he's putting the family in danger, but he doesn't exactly realize it. So Marge needs to like put it out on Main Street, make it very plain and simple to him that she doesn't feel safe with him, and I really like the emotional turn in that.
Yeah, and even then he fails 2 or 3 times in that. Like, I think every time he says, I've got rid of the gun, it's actually on his person immediately afterwards. And also in that entire episode, apart from the very, very end, no one uses the gun as a protection outfit or a weapon tool, sorry.
Yeah. I never thought about that.
It was just right at the end
where they
got
commentary.
Yeah, well, I assume it must be, because the whole other time you see anyone shooting anything is they're at the gun range or Homer's just shooting stuff around the house.
I love that joke at the gun range where he's shooting the cans and it turns around and he's shooting up the snack bar. Yeah. Oh, and when Agnes Skinner as well is just throwing a grenade at the target.
I love that. He shoots all the cans on the snack bar, and he's like, Homer, that's where the target is. Yeah. And like Homer goes, oh, and the clerk behind the bar goes, my fault.
But yeah, it wasn't even done with Lenny going, up, that's the snack bar, there's the target. It was just a shove and a move and a point. It was completely visual.
They're both wearing sound blocking earphone thingies.
Yeah.
Whatever they're called.
Earmuffs.
Yeah, hearing protection. No, what I like about in terms of
muffs.
comment, yeah, thank you.
Ears.
Aren't muffs the ones that keep your ears warm?
Aren't they not, though?
I don't
you
know.
say you would be cold while wearing hearing protection?
I mean, maybe.
As a man who's never been to a gun range.
Yep. No, what I like in terms of commentary on this is I actually kind of feel there's a degree of evening out. Like later on when Homer's shown to turn on the TV and open his beer with the gun, everyone else is like shocked and horrified going, that's not what a gun is for. And I think that's got a good even commentary of there is such a thing as safe ownership. And it's, treating the gun with the proper respect, I suppose.
Yeah, that's true. Although safe ownership does include making one gun into 5 guns.
And there's always that. a degree of being even on the topic. No, it's definitely leaning towards the idea of it should really be controlled because Homer can own one and look at him.
Yeah.
I do like that he's listed on their background checked as dangerous, but he's still allowed to have 3 guns.
Oh, that's right. List off all of his dangerous
and it's got the great, sorry, honey, sorry, pal, you're going to have to wait 5 days. 5 days, but I'm mad now.
Yeah.
And, appreciate that when hiding around the house, Bart nearly kills Milhouse.
Yeah, that's right.
Because Milhouse has the apple in his mouth instead of on top of his head.
Yeah. Not quite understanding how William Tell works.
No.
Apple in the mouth and with a gun, not a bow and arrow. But no, it helped bring the emotional weight to the turn as well, and then... there is something not to like about the fact that Homer was hiding it a second time and lying a second time, but it quickly shows Marge having the same thing with the gun. And when she's walking away, I feel like that's a reference to something that feels music. And
I think it's like, Ben and I was talking about this the other a while ago. It's not, I called it the Avengers, but it's not. It's like a 1980s British action series called not the Avengers, but there's something like that, like the Incredibles?
You mean like the British Avengers?
Like the British Avengers, yeah. I think that's what that was. It was like a Bond-esque walking out. Like
and they did.
Had like the hand hard out to the side and walked out.
It was like a driving to the Grand Canyon. What's that movie?
Thelma and Louise.
Yeah.
But they're famous scenes in a car.
I know.
And there's also a Grand Canyon.
Again, it feels like a reference to something. I'm just not sure what it is. I've even written that down because I don't know.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll get back to more quotable moments later. But okay. So synopsis.
Sorry. Quick moment. So the bit where Marge goes to Patty and Selma's place, And I'm just trying to figure out. There's a scene somewhere where Marge is trying to find a dress. I think it's the Chanel suit one.
Yeah.
Is that before or after this?
Before, way before.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Because Selma is wearing one of the dresses she tries to offer Marge. And I like that continuity. I always really like any kind of random continuity.
Yeah, and the Sleep Easy Motel, the, sleazy motel, that's a good sign gag. Mm-hmm. That comes back as well as a bit of continuity with that place.
So that was my... I've got a lot of notes about jokes, but that was what I wanted to bring up.
Well...
You got your silencer, your loudener, and this is used for bringing down police helicopters.
I swear, Marge, I never thought you'd find out.
Yeah. So that's the other thing I wanted to raise. When, you have the whole, like you said, emotional charge with Bart very dangerously handling the gun as a child would. You've got, all of a sudden, a bunch of jokes. It's like, I swear he had never thought he'd look in the vegetable crisper.
Yep. And then, Marge decides to leave, and then Homer, to round off the act 2, just turns to Milhouse, who's still there inexplicably, and goes, do you know how to make dinner?
Do I?
It was great because, Act 2 needs a dramatic note to end on and also a joke to cut to
commercial. But you get so many jokes, yeah.
Okay, so time for the questionnaire. So the storyline, A throughout with offshoots, not really a sort of B story.
No.
Have you seen this episode before, Phil?
Yes, I think I might have even seen it when it aired here. It's quite an old episode that I would have watched on live TV.
Do you guys remember watching it back in the day? Any memories? Or
I don't have any particular memories about it. I think it would have been, I think I enjoyed it and found it funny. And I remember that. I didn't know it was called the Cartridge Family. So when you said, watching Cartridge Family, I'm like, don't know what that is. And then I had forgotten the entire intro for the soccer stuff.
Yeah.
But then as soon as he gets going, I'm like, I know this one. Yeah.
Yeah. Beej, any memories?
Specifically, no, but I definitely would have watched this when it first came out, I'm sure. I was still on board with Simpsons season 9, of course.
Yeah, I remember really loving the whole soccer thing and quoting bits from that to everyone who'd listen to me because I hated soccer. And also I remember, I don't think I saw it when it first aired, but I definitely saw it around the time that Michael Moore released Bowling for Columbine, and, that was just...
Was that around the same time?
Yeah, no. I think Bowling for Columbine was a couple of years after.
Right.
Yeah,
about
Bowling for
2002.
Columbine would have been... Well, it happened after September 11, because it's got a bunch of references to September 11 in, so that would have been 2002, 3.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I was wondering if it was a reflection of that, but obviously just general gun.
Yeah,
news.
like we said, it's still relevant because it's still going.
It could be on. It could be on now, and you'd think it's new, apart from being 4:3 aspect ratio.
But topical satire, gotta love it. And God, it's stupidly relevant. So an episode you've revisited at all?
I don't think I've revisited. I'd probably watch it for a bit if it was still on, but I wouldn't hunt it down. It's not my most quotable quotes, I don't think. No.
Oh, okay.
But I've seen this enough times. I was writing down notes before they happened.
Yeah.
Frequently.
Yeah, pre-noting.
Yeah. So it's great, write that down.
Yeah, this is one of my absolute favourites. I wouldn't be surprised if I've seen this 30, 40 times.
Mm-hmm.
That's too many times.
Is there such a thing?
Yeah.
Yes.
Look, I've watched
40 is too many.
But 30, 40?
I'm getting to the point where I'm watching the bad episodes at least twice each. Yeah, I know it's too much. Any jokes that kind of went over your head in the day? Anything you only just noticed?
I mean, that ending reference is possibly still going over our heads.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely.
I think I really paid attention to... There's a bit where they realise how irresponsible Homer is with the gun, and the mafia guy says, "You could have hurt somebody," and then Cletus Yokel says,
"Are you gun,
and I don't think in the beforehand I would have gone, the guy who hurts someone all the time says you could have hurt somebody, and the guy who's really stupid says you're really stupid. But this time I'm like, yeah, right, fair enough. Yeah. Well played, Deeper Simpsons.
Mm-hmm. No, and goes into the thing, well, yeah, there's a stereotypical NRA owner, but maybe they've even got some standards of what's safe and what's not. Yeah.
Yep. Like putting the safety on. Oh, I guess it was already on.
So you sort of already answered this, Phil, but do you see yourself watching this one again? I know I do.
Well, yeah, I don't think it's not a 40 timer for me, but yeah, I'd watch it again if it was on.
I'll get this one up to 50 for sure.
Yeah. If I couldn't replay the episode pretty much word for word again in my head right now, I would definitely watch it again.
I'm sure you do that at the slower days of work, huh?
Pretty much.
So let's talk about the wackiness of this episode. Not I don't think it was like...
The whackness?
Wackiness.
Okay, I'm with you.
The whack word.
I'm back in.
The boyoyoings.
I don't think there was really any boyoings.
No,
in
I
this
mean,
one. There's not really...
The most you get is like Homer turning on the TV by shooting it, and then it immediately opens to a cowboy falling down.
Yeah.
It's not wacky plot-wise, it's just a quick joke.
Yeah, there's quick jokes like, the turning one gun into 5 guns, and all the quick flash jokes at the riot where like...
Yeah, I think that's where all the wackiness was, where like someone just throws somebody off off the edge of a cliff, almost, and then
all of a sudden there's 2 karate guys going at it.
Yeah.
And then for some reason, Nelson has got Milhouse in a ankle lock, and then the Scots get in on it.
But yeah, it's very, very...
Call this on, Elliot.
Come on, boys, we'll show them.
Hoi, hoi, hoi. Yeah, but not wacky plot-wise, but heart. Did this episode have heart?
Yeah, I think definitely, yeah. There's a lot of emotional distance between Homer and Marge on the gun issue, and then there's a lot of talk about the guns in society to a certain degree.
Yeah.
I think, Homer's retarded... Sorry, that's not the right word to use. Homer's ill-thought-out arguments against the 5-day waiting period, I think, are reflective and also symptomatic of what people think about 5-day waiting periods.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And even though like the heart doesn't say strong at the end because Homer did the double lie, like you still felt it in the moment that it was necessary. I don't think it I think it's really hurt the ending too much.
A degree of heart where he's like, this gun had a hold over me, Marge. The way I felt powerful, the way that God must feel when he's holding a gun.
Yeah.
But I think that's got a fair point. It's like he wants to get rid of it, but he feels like it's an essential part of him now, and he identifies as a gun owner, so he has trouble getting rid of it.
Absolutely. And overall...
It's like a new sexuality, gun owner.
Why not?
A gunner-sexual, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's a thing.
Yeah, gunner-sexual.
Yeah, LGBTG. Oh, no.
No, they don't want to be associated. The LGBT doesn't want to have the gun.
Really? They strike me as people who love guns, LGBT.
You know what? They're trying to embrace all types of sexuality. If gun owner is one of them, kind of hypocritical to not accept them.
I identify as a gun owner.
Yeah.
I identify as a gun.
Pew, 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 pew.
Apache helicopter.
Acceptance in all forms.
Overall, did this feel like an episode of The Simpsons? Do you feel the integrity was all...
Yeah, I say this is well and truly in the middle of a Simpsons episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone's acting like they should. And the kids as well. They didn't feature much in this episode, but they acted like they did. Bart would be, an irresponsible child with the gun, and then when they're at the creepy motel, they're not off-put by it. They're just trying to make their own fun. Yeah. Oh, can we go swimming? Oh, let's race this body in the smelly beds. Oh, this Bible is coin-operated.
I do like that.
Yeah,
everyone's on point. It's all characteristic of the show, yeah.
So just the final quotable moments. Just want to bring it back to the ending where they're at the checkout at the hotel and they're checking out, and he goes, "Here's your continental breakfast," and just drops an egg in an envelope. And also Snake takes the gun from Homer and he goes, "Ha, there's no bullets in it." Then Snake points the gun at him and goes, "Give me the bullets." "Oh, okay, don't shoot."
I also like, "Oh, Marge, there are so many things I want to yell to you."
Yeah.
Over here. Oh, okay.
Yeah, there are so many I didn't write down, but those are just so.
And the other sequence of jokes, the whole Vote Quimby thing at the end,
that
was so great.
There's like 3 instances of Vote Quimby just as you're catching him with a hooker.
Yeah, that's right. He busts into Marge's hotel room and goes, "Oh, you staying here all night? Oh, Vote Quimby." Then when Homer interrupts him, and then at the end when he's coming down to get some ice mid-robbery.
Not even that, but way back in the beginning, you've got ex-con who's like, "Did you change the locks when they first came in here?" "I thought so. The previous owners are probably in here." "Yep. Intruders could get in through the mail slot in your grocery bag."
Yeah, and Marge looks at the grocery bag. Dun, dun, dun. And he's nicking things the whole time. Any other quotable moments?
No, that's all.
Probably
all my
more
notes and Ben's trumped me.
Yeah, look, this is such a dense episode. Go watch it, definitely, if you haven't already. You should actually watch the episodes before listening to this. This is a spoiler-filled companion piece podcast.
I like to believe...
Are they all spoilers, all these episodes? There's no bits where we won't tell you what happens at the end.
No. This is intended for you to watch first and then listen to the podcast.
It's like the number of DVD commentaries I listen to where they're like, "Oh, we're not going to spoil it. Obviously, you watch the movie first. I really want to watch a commentary before I watch the movie one time." At least once.
Yeah, just find an X-Men movie where you already know what the ending's going to be, and then do that. Also, the commentary would be terrible, but do it.
Just to do it is the point.
You should listen to.
See what Brett Ratner thinks.
No, let's not. There's a great DVD commentary on one of the Ricky Gervais stand-up DVDs where it's just him taking the piss out of the guy doing the commentary with him for the entire time, and they never actually talk about what's on screen.
No. Oh, that's awesome! It doesn't happen to be Carl Perking-Pinkton.
No. It's some guy called Robin. I don't know who he is, but apparently he's a bit overweight and insecure about himself because that's basically what the 90 minutes of Ricky Gervais just taking the piss out of him.
Yeah.
That.
Oh, I'm gonna check that out. All right, let's rank this thing. Phil, kick it off tonight.
All right, I forgot what the rankings were.
All right. So at the very top is Cubic Zirconia, and then we got gold, silver, bronze, participant, and failure.
I'd say this is a very strong gold. I don't think it's Cubic Zirconia. Like, it's not one that I constantly reference, but it's definitely a good, solid episode.
Fair enough, gold. How about you, BT?
I know what you mean, and I don't disagree that it's a gold, but I am going to give it a QZ. I think this is just so well structured and so heavily layered with jokes that it's tough. I don't know if I would label it quintessential, but I cannot fault it on any level.
Your QZs are so cheap.
I mean, you say that.
No, I did just then.
I know. That's why I said you say that.
No. And then
I heard you say it.
I did.
Yeah. Now I'm saying things.
I'm giving it a Cubic Zirconia as well. Because, I don't think it's a quintessential episode. I think you can totally skip over it. But for me personally, I love this on a personal level. I love it on a social commentary level. And it's just so, again, I'm just repeating what you said. Well-structured, story's great, joke's great. But yeah, I can see the argument for gold. I'm definitely skirting that line more than...
There may be a fair bias on this one just because I was pre-quoting everything, so I love this episode. I know it very well.
Yeah, absolutely.
So maybe Phil is the only truly unbiased one amongst us.
I'm a moderate watcher of The Simpsons.
Yeah.
Until you get to the one where Homer finds his body double thrown out of Moe's butter. Oh my god, this man's my exact double. Oh my god, that dog has a puffy tail.
You mean Guy Incognito?
Oh,
absolutely.
Yeah. Guy Incognito.
That's, I don't know what episode that's from, but I know that scene is Cubic Zirconia.
Along with, look, this pig has a curly tail. Curly, straight. Curly, straight.
Oh my god, that sounds like a pig fainting.
That's actually an episode that I revisited recently and didn't like too much.
Oh, really?
The Homer Goes to College one, but I didn't ever watch many of those movies.
Is it because you never played Dungeons and Dragons?
Well, he has now.
Is it because you... What?
You don't know how to play Louie?
Louie.
For years, I didn't know how to find that song because I didn't know what it was called because, you just hear it as... Yeah, exactly.
Isn't it called Louie Louie?
Yeah.
To anyone who doesn't know the song title, it just sounds... because he's saying it Louie or Louie.
It's not a song known for its lyrics.
Yeah, you have to remember.
In fact, I don't know any of the other lyrics apart from... Louie Louie, we gotta go now.
True story. The FBI actually went through the lyrics very, very carefully, trying to look, assuming they were potentially vulgar before they were allowed to release it. And they missed the drummer in the background messing up and going, "Fuck."
Yeah.
Good work, FBI.
You totally hear it, and it's 3 seconds into the song or something.
It's longer than that. But okay. You can definitely hear it if you're listening for it. If they were going through assuming that maybe it was full of curse words or communist propaganda.
Yeah.
And,
well, that's where you definitely put communist propaganda in
rock music.
I
love the Judas Priest quote. Do you think if we're going to put subliminal messages in our music, we wouldn't just put buy more records?
Yeah. Buy a Judas Priest keychain.
And a beer koozie. Alright, so next we're going to watch Season 16, Episode 8, Homer and Ned's Hail Mary Pass. Does this one sound familiar on title alone?
Sounds kind of boring on title alone.
Oh, it's terrible.
No, I haven't heard of it or seen of it, but now I look forward to it.
Well, I pulled this one up for you, Phil, because you know American football.
And we do not.
Correct, that's true.
And
so also, I love to hate things, so that's true. I'm going to get my red pen out for this one.
Let me get old red.
All right, he's going to get old red, and we're
going to go
back.
do it.
back, and we just watched season 16, episode 8, Homer and Ned's Hail Mary Pass. Guys, what'd you think?
I have a note here. It drove me to drink.
It was pretty average.
Yeah. Okay, so just a synopsis for those of you at home who might not have seen it. Again, why are you watching this without watching the episodes?
Hey, don't judge them.
Maybe they're stuck in traffic. Maybe this is the only podcast they could download because they're on Telstra.
Maybe they want to know what the later episodes are like without watching them.
Maybe they're going to a party and they want to see like they're in touch and witty and they're getting our jokes pre-aired. They're like, I'm pre-gaming my conversation.
Oh.
Wow. Okay. All right. Well, there's a bunch of reasons right there.
We'll keep going if you want to.
Maybe they're dinosaurs. Wait.
So this is the one where Homer discovers he's got a knack for doing obnoxious showboating, and people in various sports leagues hire him to do various showboating, and eventually to the point where he's planning the Super Bowl halftime show. And alongside that, Ned starts making Passion of the Christ-esque movies, and somehow their stories join to where they make a Super Bowl halftime show that's about the story of Noah.
So that's what bothers me about this episode from the get-go. There's some jokes that I laughed at in this, but, okay, as my notes has this flow going, we start with the Simpsons at Springfield Park, which leads them to the charity function to fix Springfield Park, which leads them to Homer doing a victory dance, which leads to him being mocked on the internet, which leads to him being hired by the NFL to make showboating dances, which leads to him making a showboating academy, which leads to him being in charge of the Super Bowl halftime show, which leads to him talking to Ned about making a Super Bowl halftime show. Holy fuck.
What was that I was saying last time about, it's just like a straight line of dominoes.
Yeah, but they're all dominoes that hate you.
Yeah.
They're all very weak points. Like my first note there was I loved the crazy cat lady being not crazy for about 3 seconds.
Yep.
Yeah, even though it was a bit hammy in its delivery where Marge was like, hey, aren't you the crazy cat lady?
Yeah.
Like, it
That
was
is
justified.
that is a spot on Marge.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's quite good.
Thank you, homie.
Yeah, and then they go to the fair and Homer wins over Bart.
Yeah, I actually didn't mind, that joke with Marge where she was like, oh, you know what I'm going to do to clean up this park? I'm going to do a charity carnival. And Bart's like, there's one over there.
Yeah.
That's not a bad setup.
It started off pretty good. I
Yeah,
was like, this isn't terrible. What are you talking about, Elliot? You're stupid.
Yeah,
But,
there were actually a
I
bunch
didn't
of
think that,
colorful
but-
jokes that I liked.
I really loved the porter squat where Homer goes,
Yeah.
here's one thing I'm good at, and walks into a portaloo, and then you hear him straining, and he comes out with a teddy bear.
Yeah.
You're like,
And yeah, a bunch
ding.
of ding ding dings and wacky sounds.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's fun. But then it just goes downhill from the moment Bart starts playing that frog game, and then
yeah, that original Homer dance went for like a minute and a half longer than it should have.
Yeah.
There was a lot of him just shaking his ass, and like you got the point, but it wasn't anything else going on. Like there was no one reacting to it, or nobody else commenting on it. You were just watching Homer dance around like a buffoon.
Yeah,
for
unless you thought
2
Homer
minutes.
dancing was really funny, you got nothing. You were like, okay, I've got it. You can stop now.
And it did seem like they just said, hey, Dan Castellaneta, go for it. And, they animated around the improv. I did like the line, with Mo going, hey, there's some fries with that shake, and he pulls out, random French fries.
Yeah, that was fine.
That's a fun
but that
wacky
should have been
bit.
like the moment it stopped. That should be the end.
Exactly.
It went on for like another minute, and I was like, this is going on forever. Like I even wrote down, this is going on forever. And it was still going when I finished writing that down.
Yep, and then so after that, comic book guy noticed Flanders filming it. Actually, that's a nice thing that I guess this episode did. They
Comic book guy has a name.
He's got a
No,
name.
that bit I fucking hate. But they already showed Ned filming, so
Yeah.
I guess they foreshadow his love of filming, I guess. There you go. I'm trying to take the good bits where I can.
Yeah.
But
I did
anyway.
like Comic Book Guy's t-shirt that says, nerds do it rarely.
Yeah. And then he admits his name is Jeff Albertson, apparently.
Apro of nothing. Yeah.
Yeah, that was very weird. It's like, my name's Jeff Albertson, but everyone calls me Comic Book
What are
Guy.
we going to learn? That squeaky voiced teen has a name?
Yeah, I mean, why does it even make a difference? It's like, and then Ned just goes, well, I'll just call you friend. It's just like, no one needed an introduction there. That didn't need to happen. He should have just gone, I'll buy that tape for you for $100. And Ned would have gone, you can have it for free because I'm Christian or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then that gets us into the whole early YouTube thing, and I really hated how it showed how the video went viral and did the laughs around the world.
Oh, that montage around the world was fucking terrible.
Yeah. That was racist, right? Like,
oh, it wasn't even racist. It's just
dumb.
Bad. It was just just a picture of Homer dancing while different countries, like geographically different countries, appear behind him with like his kind of going ooga booga, chuga chuga, shake my ass was vaguely translated into whatever that country. That was.
No! It was the laughs that were each country. So like when they went over France, yep, and then when they went over Zimbabwe, it was that was, and then when it was Antarctica, it was a bunch of seals, which I liked that part of the joke in theory, but I didn't like anything else.
That was done by, I can only imagine that the intern that usually brings coffee in wrote that.
What bugs me is we go from that montage of it spreading around the world to immediately Homer is angry about being made an internet sensation. We've never got a point where Homer is being shown that he's become an internet joke.
Yeah, they do that scene after Homer explains the plot, where the tour bus pulls up and then Mario, like from the video game, pulls out and they do a Donkey Kong sequence.
I'm gonna drink again.
That was super ham-fisted.
Well, Beach, slow down, man. Just put down that bottle of tequila. Stop putting your finger up at me like in that arch a bit.
Also, stop putting your finger up your butt. That's weird.
He meant... comma, but.
Too late.
So yeah, then after like that quick scene of Homer being annoyed at his newfound fame, random non-existent athlete played by Hank Azaria comes around and asks for his advice with showboating, and then another 1 minute scene of Homer going ooga chuka booga booga.
Yeah, and that was the break to the commercial as well.
Yeah.
I did like the gag where they opened up he breaks the painting of the sailboat over his head, and Marge opens the cupboard and there's like 72 other ones. It was like, that was okay.
Yeah.
It made me laugh, but it only made me laugh because the last 5 minutes before that was so boring and nothing happened.
It's not so much a laugh, it's a huh.
Yeah, it was like, no, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But it could have been, you missed the whole thing, and then him just dancing around again was just a waste. It felt like they were really padding out. Yeah. And they went, oh, we've got this script, but it's only 18 minutes long. We need 4 more minutes. They went, hey Dan, just make some dancing noises and we'll animate you dancing.
There's the license for voice saying stuff. Make some dancing noises. Hey, hoo, hey, ha.
Yeah, the easiest $2 million you ever made.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Until I start thinking about the money they make. But yeah, the sailboat gag is good, but that's like based on the history of The Simpsons. That this is like an unexplained picture there. Like it is not.
Which ends up getting explained, doesn't it?
Oh, I think Marge painted it or something. I don't know. But yeah, that is
seems like a Marge thing to do.
But yeah, anyway, like my point is, like it's a good bit, but it's not like funny because it's part of the story.
No, and it's not funny enough to go to break on as well. Like you don't go, this is the cliffhanging moment, and go, now we're out. It's like, it was all very. It's very weak.
You cut to commercial on that joke. You're like, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. I don't care if I get back in time.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't care enough that I probably would have just peed where I sat.
Didn't you want to go to the toilet? No, I'm too angry.
Yeah, too angry. Too angry for pee aiming. I'm just going to do it here.
Yep.
And so, yeah, then, okay, so Act 2 starts up. Homer's giving advice and he's doing more ooga chugga shit. And then, 5 minutes after that crap, Ned's story gets randomly introduced where he's, upset at a commercial that Rod and Todd saw, so they decide to start making Passion of the Christ-esque movies.
Yeah, that was weird. I don't even remember really how that started. Oh, it was
they're watching some...
that's right. Sorry, didn't mean to stand on you. But
No, go for it, because I actually forgot.
Well, they had... there was a commercial where it's Timmy comes up to his grandparents Grandma, I want to come to the ice cream shop. And they're like, sorry, we're going to go have old people sex. And then the old man looks at camera and goes, thanks to Jam It In. And it's supposed to be like a drug gag, but it's called Jam It In.
Yeah.
And then they say,
I'd say it's a little on the nose, but it's more than that. It's a little up the butt.
Yeah, it's like, wow.
It's all up your nose. It's picking your nose for you, going, this is what you wanted all along.
Yeah.
It was weird. And that's
they just really jammed it in.
And that's a weird place for that. And then
the whole bit is after of nothing.
Yeah, better. I think that almost reflects what Elliot said when we put the DVD in, and it came up with Fox Home Entertainment, and Elliot said it should really have home entertainment in quotes.
Yeah.
Is what that was. It was just like, oh yeah, this is entertainment.
Much like how Fox should put news in quotes.
You should be allegedly at the end of it.
So can I quickly interject, because in amongst my many notes of complaints, there is one line I liked, harking back to the sign jokes we got from last time when they're going to whatever stadium. I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah.
There's a tonight game that's plot relevant. Tomorrow, Simon versus Garfunkel.
I did like the Simon versus
Oh, was it versus? Right, because I said Simon and Garfunkel. I went, that's a bit of a lame gag.
Versus.
I didn't see the versus.
Like, that's fine. Everything else is like, everything I hate about this episode, that one bit.
Also, that would be the only thing where Garfunkel won over Paul Simon.
Yeah, definitely. He's got the reach.
He's got the reach
taller
for it,
man.
Yeah, but Paul Simon's the better songwriter.
That's
Absolutely,
not what they're
but
doing.
yeah,
They're fighting.
Garfunkel would fight.
Oh, right.
He's got that pent up anger.
Yeah, he's got anger and reach, right? I forgot. Songwriting don't help you in the octagon. So yeah, it's so weird.
That should be the theme song for MMA.
No, I think that's our next T-shirt. Songwriting don't help you in the octagon.
La da da.
Ooh, la, da,
And then I think everything from there, like when they went back to Homer having a great success at being the victory dance coach choreographer.
Yep.
The dancing that he did to get him in that job was never then reflected in the choreography. Like everything was like a prop-based gag where like someone pulls out a barbecue and they cook the football, and somebody pulls out an easel. Like everything was, wouldn't it be funny if you pulled out this and then did this with it? Like every single gag was that. There's the football barbecue, the painting of the easel, there was the Segway with the banner behind it. It was all like, it was the same gag over and over again. And they weren't, if they were dancing in the retarded way, in the
special
way.
I nearly said spastic. In the special way that Homer was.
That's only offensive in England.
You could go, no, don't listen to this, England. You could go, yeah, it makes sense. But because it was so different, it was like, it doesn't even really seem like part of the same gag.
Yeah.
No, the only thing I liked about that sequence was the bit where the footballer does the touchdown and then puts on a nightcap and grabs part of the field and rolls it up in a blanket. And then you see on Homer's clipboard that, there were directions for him to do that, and then it says lay down ZZZ. Like, that was just a funny visual bit. But again, it was done over this montage of...
Get ready for this by...
Young MC or something?
No, I think it was...
Y'all ready for this? Is that one?
Yeah, I think it was.
Oh, that's right.
Is it Too Unlimited?
Yes, because they're trying to sue Trump at the moment because he's been using it at his rallies, and they're like...
Same I saw today, same with White Stripes, Seven Nation Army.
And Neil Young.
No, Trump has been using Seven Nation Army and Neil Young, really?
Yeah.
Oh my god, sorry, I try to avoid the whole fucking...
Yeah, so do I, but that came
as much
across
as
my
possible.
Reddit. I'm like,
Yeah.
good lord.
This is a man that can afford to pay for that shit. And doesn't.
Yeah, but you still get sued. You can be sued for a lot, especially for inappropriate media usage on a national broadcast scale.
Yep.
No,
Shit,
absolutely.
burn you down. Anyway, let's not get Trumpified.
I would have him on the show. That'd be interesting.
Yeah, I would absolutely have him on the show.
Yeah, Trump, if you're not doing anything after November 8th, then I hope you're not.
You know what? Even if somehow you are, that would be a landmark episode for the Simpsons exit.
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean,
President's Trump.
I know, horrifying as it may be. Welcome. Okay, it'll be special guests BT Calloway and Donald Trump. President Donald Trump.
President Trump.
Don't say
Also,
that.
there must be a Simpsons episode where Trump appears. Sure.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
He's mentioned, actually, when we were watching Bart the Lover, where... no,
Homer goes,
sorry.
who's ever gotten famous from yo-yos? Donald Trump? Bill Cosby? It's like, wow, those names mean something else now.
Yeah.
But there's a great little aside in the flash forward to Lisa being president where Milhouse goes, well, we've the massive debt left by the Trump presidency has caused all kinds of problems. Like,
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and that
But
was
is
like
there not-
back in
has he not ever-
2001, 2002 or something like that, where they were making a joke about the Trump presidency. Like,
and then now, oh.
Whoopsies. But has he not ever actually appeared?
They've been doing like these YouTube shorts lately.
Piece of shit.
It's about pause, cut.
Hi, Teacher Elliot. You want to cut here? Playing ball, yeah.
The Mo/Pull thing that started out as a good gag, but then again it went on too long. There were a bunch of gags that did go on too long.
Pick up from where you left off. Where'd you leave off? What were we saying?
Yeah, and also say, and we're back.
And
or whatever it is that makes Elliot's job easier later on.
And we're back.
Wooja.
We had to break for a pizza.
A wuzzle. We had to break for pizza at the door. But yeah, a bunch of gags that went on too long. The Pac-Man wedding, the Homer. Woohoo! I would have done it for free. Okay, you'll do it for free. Woohoo! I would have paid you. Yeah, went on too long. And yeah, the whole bit with Flanders and the movies, like, what I hate about what the new seasons are doing with Flanders is they're making him out to be like this Westboro Baptist Christian.
Rather than the eternally humble Christian he used to be.
Like, yeah, I feel like if The Simpsons was made today, like, Flanders would actually be Mormon rather than Christian.
Yeah. Well,
He'd be like more extreme version of what he was.
No. Like, he should be like
meek and mild.
Yeah, and very. Yeah, I guess my beliefs are stupid, but I believe in them. Have a good day, sir.
Well, that's the thing. He's making all these violent Bible stories, and they're all wrong.
Yeah,
I mean,
and even Lisa's quote, the Bible is pretty violent. I mean,
not in the stories you're fucking telling. I'm sorry, they're inaccurate. But I mean, like, they've got Jonah being eaten by a whale and then blood spouting out the whales, and that's not how that story goes. Or Solomon cutting the baby in half, then cutting himself in half. Or the mark of evil being a physical deformity when it's meant to be a metaphorical thing.
Maybe what they were going for was the contrast with, the Ned being offended at the commercial, which was a sex thing, versus, him being okay with violence because
graphic
it's on
violence.
A biblical level.
And that would have been a fine thing to go, but I feel like they didn't chase that. That would have worked, but that's not what they did.
Yeah, especially if because then Homer, who is super unprepared for the Super Bowl halftime show that he's putting on, and Ned, who's been told he's not allowed to show his shows anymore because they're too violent, get together, and then the show they put on is the tamest, most boring telling of the...
I didn't even think of that, yeah.
The Noah story ever.
I will then say is the only other joke I liked, which is then going to the shock and outcry of the average American who's like, I'm tired of these secular humanists trying to push their beliefs on me. Instead of the other way around. That part I liked. Everything else is criticism.
Yeah.
My last note before that is I'm out of beer and this episode isn't over.
One of the notes I had, which was from before when they first screened Flanders' movie and everyone loved it in the church. And I can't remember who said it. I think, but somebody said it while everyone's congratulating him. Yeah. Somebody said, I'd pay to see it again and again and again, but not 6 times.
Yeah, Frank, I think.
Yeah, I'm just like, that's terrible, terrible setup and then a terrible, terrible payoff.
Yep.
No, that was one, and they did it actually in this episode with Sideshow Mel, where they overvalue, the performance of the character being enough of a joke. Where Sideshow Mel was going, that was a brilliant film, I'm very dramatic. And then, Frank was like, I'd see it again and again, and not a 6th time, even. Actual humour.
No, yeah, there seemed to be a lot of things where it was just, they'd come up with jokes, and the joke was a 3-second shot that wasn't pertaining to anything else at all. And it was just, here's a funny bit, okay, and now back to the story. And here's a funny bit, and most of the funny bits were not funny. And there was nothing that... as opposed to the Cartridge family, there wasn't anything that referenced itself, or that there was no payoff joke that played 3 times and then really paid off in the end. It was just if something paid off, it paid off immediately. There was no long-term gag running through anything.
Yeah, no, it was so structurally weak, and it didn't set it. Yeah, like you said,
you have so much plot following Homer, and yet that's not enough plot to fill in. You have to have this random B story, and it's just.
Yeah.
It's a mess.
Yeah, and they really missed what that could have been. That, the halftime show should have been the most violent Christian film ever. And then that would have been an interesting point because you would have then had the people who hate violence and the people who dislike Christian things being broadcast being on the same side, which would be weird in a scenario because it'd be the same type of people almost. But instead it was just boring ass. They started with... ice skating, which is always going to be a terrible time.
Yep.
Yeah, it felt like some of these were just... the whole thing was a reason to get all these sports stars into one room. And, just while we're touching on that, the sports stars. Yao, the guy who does the meme with the smiley face, that one.
Yao Ming is the first ever Chinese player to play in the NBA.
Oh, is that... What was the meme that he... Is it like no problem or?
Oh,
It's like
yeah.
I can't speak to the meme, but he's a very well paid international Chinese
He's very
basketball.
tall.
yeah, I know him from meme culture because I'm a
Yeah,
A
that's fine.
non-sports.
non-sportsy guy.
Non-sportsy
Yeah,
guy.
actually, in memory there was a lot more NFL, but I guess not.
Yeah, it wasn't much actual football there, but there was people that I recognised most of. But then the weird thing was like Yao Ming, quite a big sports
Yeah.
star. They had
Michelle
Kwong.
Michelle Kwong,
Who
ice
Who
skater.
had the line "Wrath of Kwan," and then I wanted to throw up a little.
Oh, I
Yeah.
liked it. I liked it.
Yeah.
Like I
Warren-
hated everything around it. But
See,
just,
Warren Sapp hasn't been a great footballer since about the early 90s. Like, he's retired longer. I've got a jersey of his that's like a throwback, collector's edition jersey. That's how long ago he played.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So this episode, season 16, so probably about 2005.
No, he would not play football for a long time by then.
Interesting. And yeah, LeBron James as well was in here as well. And
I'm trying to remember what controversy was around him.
LeBron James is just an excellent basketball player.
Okay, who am I thinking of that peed on someone?
R. Kelly?
Okay, don't ask me how I got those confused.
No. I think you're actually thinking of fucking Lakers, Kobe Bryant.
That's who I'm thinking of. Thank
Yeah,
you.
right.
Yeah, he was not in this episode.
No.
There was a reference to the Jay Giles band as well, and yeah, that was shit. I don't know. I'm just trying to go through my notes and try to make.
That means as much to me as the Brian Setzer Orchestra.
Nice throwback. Yeah, even we're structuring.
Oh,
our
and then
episodes
my
better.
other notes are there was a very small tear into Michael Moore when Ned Flanders gets shut down, and he's like, "I'm just like Michael Moore, except I'm thinner and I eat better and I have cleaner genes." And, you're like,
God loves me.
and God loves me. It's like, that's weird. It was like 2005. Like Michael Moore wasn't. Maybe he's kind of peaking, but
Yeah, I think.
it's a weird thing to kind of attack him for being fat, dirty, and unclean. Like
Yeah.
you could attack Michael Moore on a lot of other things, but just call him a fat, dirty guy with bad shorts is
Pretty
weak.
lame.
Yeah.
Pretty lame.
Just while we're there, I actually saw Where to Invade Next the other day, and like
Oh, yeah? How's
his filthy, dirty jeans and
Filthy
himself.
and dirty.
Yeah, him being on screen is the worst part of that movie.
Yeah.
Oh, no, he should not be on screen.
Like, because it's a good premise. Like, he goes around to countries and finds things that they're doing that America's not doing, and he says, "Yeah, we should take these ideas," but he tries and sells it as like he's invading these countries, but he's stealing new ideas. So it doesn't make a lot of sense, and he's sort of confusing people. He's like, "I'm going to stick an American flag here, so we're invading this country by stealing your idea," and everyone's like,
That's not how invasions work.
Yeah, how ideas work either. But yeah, I think Michael Moore, he's lost the crest of his wave to bring a movie out. I saw Sicko when it came out in like 10 years ago now, and that was an amazing film.
Yeah.
And then I think this is his last thing since then. It's like you can't just rely on being Michael Moore and selling tickets. You still have to give a good product if you don't do anything.
No,
or you do
absolutely.
one thing every 10 years.
No, I thought Where to Invade Next was good. It's just the moments on where he was on screen and like doing like bits. Like it felt a little laboured and anyway, running over, need to get to the question now. So storyline, yes, this had an A and a B. It was Homer's A story and Ned's B story.
And one's a mess and the other one's boring.
Yeah.
One's a mess and one's a boring mess.
They're the perfectly terrible odd couple. Don't watch them on TV.
So neither of you have seen this before?
I know,
No.
I've seen this before.
You haven't seen it, Phil?
No, I've not seen this.
Beach?
No, I've seen it before, and I remember thinking its Bible quotes were historically inaccurate again, and that it wasn't great.
No.
I do remember, hey Michelle, you got a boyfriend? Not in here, I don't.
Yeah, I like that line. That was fun.
Also, there's a weird bit where Tom Brady, who's a football player for the New England Patriots,
Thank you.
Was now a stand-up comedian.
What?
He's actually kind of funny.
What?
He has. I have thoughts about that. Anyway,
Tell us about footballs.
There's a bit post credits where they do a flashback to where it goes Homer Simpson's sportsmanship camp, and there's literally, I think it's literally put in there so Tom Brady can say, "But I'm into sportsmanship and playing fair." And it was like, "Shut up, Tom," and that was the end.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Like,
that's
that
the
was-
joke the episode fucking ends on.
Yeah, I think, and that seems like it was Tom Brady seeing the preview screening of the episode and thinks he comes off badly.
I'm not in here.
Put this scene in, otherwise Tom Brady will sue you for defamation. and that would be bad for you because he was probably in 2005. Tom Brady was the most well-known footballer in the United States by a long shot. Like
this is before the sitting meme by far.
By the sitting meme,
yeah.
Before he got beat, before he got his hands spanked, crying in the football field.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Tom Brady.
I don't know what we're talking about.
Have you seen the South Park one where he's just wandering around the field with shit in his pants?
No.
You'd really like that. All right. Yeah, I'd seen this one before. I've probably seen it 3 times. And
Yeah, I feel like I've seen it twice, so I blame you for that.
yeah. And it's one that like fools you because it does start out kind of funny with all the Springfield Park gags and stuff, and then it's the one where Homer does sports.
It's the one where boring happens.
Yeah, I think this is like there's a big warning in this episode just via the title. When the title's like 12 words long, you know that they're not succinct jokes.
I don't know. There's Grandpa versus Sexual Inadequacy, and that's a great episode.
Raging Abe Simpson and his grumbling grandson and the Curse of the Flying
But this was
Hellfish.
what? Hail Mary.
Homer and Ned's Hail Mary pass.
So you
That's
listen
a
to that.
bad pun.
It sounds awful.
Oh, Mary.
Yeah, there you
fuck
go.
off.
Hail. It's a Nazi thing.
So, do you see yourself watching this episode again? All together now?
No. Unless you tie me to a chair and pry open my eyelids.
Yeah, if someone's doing like a Clockwork Orange thing to you to make you hate The Simpsons, this is what they'd play.
Absolutely. So let's
And the Ludwig van.
So let's talk about the wackiness. Now, I think we can all agree that both storylines had a big degree of wackiness to them, and it was to the detriment of the show.
Yeah, there's a ton of like slapstick comedy in this, and it was all pretty shit.
Yeah.
But not only that, we've had Homer dancing before and becoming a sports star before because of his dancing in the Dancing Homer episode.
This
in
episode-
like season 2?
This episode was so bad I forgot about Dancing Homer.
Oh, don't forget about Dancing Homer. It's a good episode. This is not.
Lively up yourself, Dancing Homer. Yeah, so the wackiness was to the absolute detriment of the show in this one.
Complete.
Was there heart? I didn't feel the bombs.
No, I think where they could have gone to make this a heartfelt episode, they didn't go to, and it was all very shiny surface, but that's it.
Yeah, Homer didn't really learn the error of the arrogance. He just didn't have an idea for the Super Bowl halftime show, and so
And
you know
Ned
what?
certainly didn't come away with going, maybe violence is not the way to bring people to the church.
That's not the message of the Bible, yeah. But even then, it was like Homer didn't walk away going, I've got over my head. He did nothing wrong. They shouldn't have given him a halftime show.
No.
It's that simple. He's just a choreographer of dancers. Why the fuck would you do that?
Exactly.
So the NFL fucked up. Way to go, NFL.
Stupid NFL.
Back to the Indiana Jones halftime show. That was your best one. 1902. Get back to it.
What happened in that one?
They did a recreation of Indiana Jones running from the boulder.
Oh, sick.
It was awesome.
I will YouTube that. Oh my god, great sports moment on YouTube the other day. Some baseballer like throwing a fastball right into a bird that was flying by. Amazing.
Intentionally or by accident?
No, by accident. Bird just flying through the field.
I thought it was like, there's a bird. I can hit that.
Told you.
Yeah, like this pitcher that was known for like throwing his shoulder out, like he could fastball that like that quickly, and yeah, just bird, wrong place, wrong time, fucking explodes. I'll show you between this.
I look forward to it.
Ultimately, did this feel like an episode of The Simpsons?
No.
It felt like all the people who make The Simpsons, their kids come into work today and they made an episode.
Yeah, you know that thing they made in like primary school, which was made of paper and used to like write different,
Oh yeah, the numbers thing, the 1 through 8, and you know,
Like the folded paper pyramid that you would
Yeah.
cycle through. I know what you mean when you do the finger things, but other people won't know what the finger things are.
Yeah, it feels like it was an episode written around that, just random happenings of things. 1, 2, 3, 4, boys love you. Put in Homer dancing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it really went like, hey guys, we've got 7 well-known professional athletes that are available to come in and
Yes.
do an episode. We've already recorded their lines right at the beginning of the episode. around this.
Irrespective of what happens.
Yeah.
oh, and you're short, so introduce another story that makes no sense to it.
And add a little extra Tom Brady who was being a bitch.
Yeah. Why don't you cry again, Tom Brady? Cry again.
All right, well, look, I don't really have any other quotable moments. I'm ready to rank this thing. Who did I start out with last time?
I started last time.
Beach.
Failure.
Failure?
It's I nearly participant, but there's so much I just I want to slap in the face. There are occasional good jokes. Not good, but I got some chuckles. But to me, it's just structurally, it's so fragmented and all over the place, and it's not trying hard enough to be something that can be like neutral on. I don't like it. It sucks. Failure.
Fair enough. Phil.
Yeah, is failure the lowest?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, well, I go failure as well. Yeah. It was a boring, terrible episode that was disconjointed and just didn't land where it could have landed.
It's a failure that is almost a participant if it tried a little harder, but it doesn't.
It could have, like, there's enough there that it could have. They could have made a really nice, heartfelt episode and dumped out half of their gags. It didn't work, and it would have been better.
Yeah, or just focused on one of their 8 plot lines and made something out of that.
No,
but they didn't.
I would not be watching this again.
No.
Yeah, well, I mean, participant, like, in its essence means you're not going to watch it again, and that's what I'm going to give it as a participant, because, like, I felt like the yucks that the episode brought, especially at the beginning, were strong enough to bring me up from a failure rank. Hey, like, into the first act, I was thinking, oh my god, is this episode actually better than I remember? Because it started out kind of okay. And, you know, if you could forget the long sequence with Homer with the Ooga Chugga in the first act, maybe. But no, like, overall, like, I thought it brought some good yucks and small isolated bits, but they weren't cemented with a good story. So, yeah, it's a participant for me.
Yeah. I'd say if you're going to watch this, watch the first 3 minutes and then throw the DVD out the window.
Unless you really like Michelle Kwan.
No one really likes Michelle
No,
Kwan.
I know that.
The Wrath of Kwan. Okay, so we're going to have a little bit of a pizza break, and we're going to watch some birds exploding, and
Wait, what?
We're going to come back with season 26, episode 19.
26? Holy shit.
Whisky Business.
Oh.
Is he the beer baron again? Because I already used that joke. And what's about this, the birds exploding?
The football thing.
Oh, sorry.
The baseball thing.
Ah, right.
I assume you've stopped recording, have you?
No, not
No,
yet.
this is going to be our fade out dialogue.
Okay.
I meant season 24.
So I said all the beer and the pizza in the world will serve you now.
I said. What I said?
It's
I
true.
died from beer and pizza overdose.
Yeah.
They don't have to.
That's what it says on your tombstone.
Just a you.
Me.
And we are back, and we just watched season 24, episode something, Whisky Business. Guys, what'd you think?
It was bourbon, not whiskey.
I think also...
Was true. Oh my god.
That's very weird. Yeah, true.
And
I think the
Maker's
pun...
Mark, that is a brand of bourbon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. Obviously, they thought the pun in the title was enough.
Oh my
FYI,
God.
it was not. I think if you set
Oh,
the
they should've
pun in the
called
title as the high mark of that episode,
Yep.
it doesn't get funnier than that.
They should have called it Burb on the Nose.
I mean, maybe.
Well, I mean, that was said
I
intentionally
don't
to be
hate.
unfunny.
I don't hate that. A way to be intentional.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is, I'd consider this an ABC storyline, where the A storyline is Moe's going to kill himself, so Homer and the Barflies take him to vacation and buy a new suit, and he uses that new suit to show some bourbon he's been storing for years, and he gets rich off it or something. And then the B story is Lisa's all pissed off that they're using Bleeding Gums Murphy hologram at jazz concerts now. And the C story is like would it be a reverse Misery, where Bart's taking care of Grandpa and Grandpa's like faking it?
I think Reverse Misery is giving it too much credit,
It's
but I think it's
technically
kind
accurate.
in that direction.
I think it's more an English patient kind of deal.
Is that what the English Patient is about?
I haven't seen it.
Well, basically, yeah, Grandpa's faking the extent of his injuries, which Bart was responsible for.
I think it's more
Sort
what
of.
about Bob? Anyway,
What about, is that the story of that?
no.
I need to see more movies
You
so I
do.
can start calling you guys on shit. Oh my
do
god,
it.
this was just such a messy episode. Just kicking it right off, the thing I remember most about this episode is when I was playing the mobile game Tapped Out, and Moe's suit was like an alternate costume for it.
Wait, is Tapped Out the MMA game?
No. It's
Mobile.
the Simpsons mobile game.
It's called Tapped Out?
Yeah.
Yeah, hence my tagline of I'm never tapping out at the end of these
Even
episodes.
though you don't play that game anymore.
Yeah. Because
I didn't know that was your byline. I should read this.
Yeah,
You should listen to an episode of the show you've been on twice.
Never. I mean, maybe tomorrow.
No, but like Tapped Out, yeah, it's pretty much The Sims but with Simpsons and yeah,
A little bit of SimCity.
yeah, Simpsons City, yeah. And Mo's
are.
fancy suit was one of the alternate costumes that you could unlock. And I feel like this episode just purely existed to have that as a thing in the video game.
Guys, we need another alternate
That's
costume
terrifying.
for Mo.
Yeah.
What about him when he's, wearing the barbershop quartet outfit when he's dancing on the bar and falls down during the...
Oh, he's adorable in the straw bow
That's
tie.
right.
Oh, okay.
And the bow tie.
Yep.
Um,
And he gets you one more round. Drink it down, you stupid clown.
So yeah, this episode is just all over the place. It feels like each scene is about a different thing. Like, it starts out with Marge deleting things off the TiVo, which...
Yeah, I don't know why, like, it was just faffing around for 4 minutes so they could get to the bar. So Homer could make the gag about, I'll never use anything to delete these movies in my head now that I've watched all of them. And then he has a bit
drinks
of
a
booze.
beer.
And then there's almost a bit where you expect him to turn and go, alcohol hurts your memory, and then drinks it off. But there's a pause where, like, it seems like they're waiting for you to get their gag, and then they move on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing, the whole Marge deleting stuff thing is just a very long way to get him to Moe's, and that's it.
And then
You
even
could've
when he is
started
at
at Moe's.
Moe's, like, Mo going to commit suicide has nothing to do with the story, and him doing that whole, oh, I hope someone saves me, and, like, it, again, goes on too long.
Yeah, I also find that Mo, like, yelling to the people in the bar to go, oh, maybe save me, no one cares about me, there's no one to love me or stop me committing suicide, and they don't notice him at all. But Mo gets into the noose and falls over, and then they're all like, oh my god, what's going on? And they run over immediately. Like,
Yeah.
If they ignored one thing, you
Yeah.
ignore the other. You can't go, they're ignoring him yelling at them, but they hear him bodily fall to the floor. It doesn't work.
They can hear a pig fainting. They know what that sounds like.
No, one man can hear a
Yeah,
pig
one
fainting.
may. But Homer can hear pudding.
That's true.
Establish that
Mo's
pretty
not
much.
putting in either way, so your
I know.
argument is...
Yeah, it's
relevant.
still problematic. Yeah.
But yeah, and it doesn't even push him over the edge, where Bart does the prank call, I'm looking for Mo, second name Ron, and then Mo just gets shaky out of his frustration, and then...
So for a second, I thought that was going to be his reason to keep living, is to
Yeah.
track down the prank call.
Yeah, that could have been a better
Well, that's kind
story.
of that episode way like in season 2 or 3 where
Where he gives him a fake address when
when he's
babysitter
got the
is-
girlfriend babysitter girl.
Can't believe it. Now my pants are chafing me.
Well, just on that issue, like, I felt this
Don't ever use that
episode...
line.
Sorry, I felt this episode had a bunch of, like, gags that were better done in earlier episodes,
Yeah.
like the Mo trying to smile gag, the listing off the long run of jazz names gag, the stock price gag, which was done way better in Futurama.
Yep, I concur.
And Homer being affected by the hot and cold water gag. These are all gags that have been done before much better. I don't know what they're getting out of calling...
You know what's fun? I wrote down one note in my notebook and then I close it. I don't remember what it is. So I'm looking
Maybe
forward to
We
finding
shall
out.
reveal
Open
it.
it, yeah. Stay tuned.
Do we do it now or do we do it later?
No, do it later. Do it when it's too late, and then we'll have to come back to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Otherwise, you've just set up a gag that you're paying off immediately. And
No,
that's
totally.
bad screencraft.
Yes, it is.
So yeah, and then they see Mo dying, and then they do the whole really on the nose. Oh, remember that BG song with
that
CPR?
was terrible, yeah.
Yeah, deep is your love, and isn't it staying alive? Isn't that a little on the nose? That whole sequence was on the nose.
So it's like
Yeah.
someone had told them the CPR Council of America wants us to, help them out by remembering that it's this song and not whatever other BG songs.
And you get the same BPM from Another One Bites the Dust. So
Really?
Or just
That's at a solid 120 as well.
twice a second. Just do that. Do it faster than you can count. It's fine.
Take the amount
But
of
then they
seconds,
also
multiply the
did a
minutes.
call back to that later on in the episode where Bart does CPR to Grandpa and he does exactly the same thing. And it's like, it's just so awkward because
Yeah.
you don't want to hear anybody, even the Bee Gees, let alone not the Bee Gees, sing How Deep Is Your Love, How Deep Is Your Love.
Look, I appreciated it that it was like Homer like totally mistaking it, and like they explained how much he was mistaking it in that joke, which was shit. But then they called back to it with Bart just going straight to how deep is your love. Like, it's like he got misinformed by Homer. Yeah. I appreciate that on a theoretical level, but in execution it wasn't really that good. So that was the moment where Marge and Homer go away with Moe and the other barflies, and
they go on a road trip. Also, that brings me to the dirtiest joke in this episode, where Moe turns around and goes, 4 guys, a noose, and a girl. It's like my favourite movies that I watch.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, fuck, that's weird as shit, Simpsons.
Yes, it is.
Like, how do you go, our last 2 jokes were about getting the wrong Bee Gees song, and our next one's about death porn.
Yeah. And look, I'm all, for a good death porn joke.
But a good death porn joke.
Yeah, at least make it not the one thing in that whole episode that's level 11 on the sensitivity scale, and everything else is bumping along at 1.5.
That's it. This episode was bumping along at 1.5. But look, I don't want to make myself look conservative by saying, that joke was gross and out of place. But I think in the context of The Simpsons, those sort of jokes can be, and especially with repeated references in the new episodes to Moe being, suicidally depressed, or him being a rapist or things like that. Like, I don't feel like they're good angles for that character.
No, it doesn't fit. Like, you can have those jokes, and you can make a joke out of anything you want, but you put it in the right context, and here it just doesn't fit.
No.
They've had most suicide jokes before, and they've varied in degrees of funny. Yeah. But
like that type of joke belongs to Roger from Family Guy or something like that, where a man is painted to already have no morals to start with. But we've seen other episodes where we come to love Moe because he's a loser who toughs it through and has shit thrown at him all the time.
Exactly.
You can't have the guy go, I feel sorry for him because he's about to commit suicide, and then doesn't. So now he's on a quest for new hope, but he starts that quest by going, I love death porn. Like, it doesn't match up. You can't have us trying to feel good for this guy and also have him going, you know what I love? Dicks up the butt and getting off on strangulation. It doesn't work.
No.
Also, 4 guys? One of those guys better be taking it.
Right. Actually, that opens up too many questions. Let's not go there.
I believe they call it a screaming eagle and a whinging sparrow. Anyway.
Moving on. Yeah. And then they also go on the world's shortest road trip. Yep. They go on the road trip to Capital City. The next shot is them driving in Capital City.
And then rehashing the same Capital City music from the...
I thought it was an okay callback.
But they did that montage, which was filled with so many weak jokes. And the thing that I didn't... And the world's shortest road trip. So they start... the storyline, Marge and Homer are going away on this trip, so they say, okay, Grandpa's in charge, Grandpa's feeding the mailbox, whatever, that's cute. And then they go, okay, Bart, you're in charge of Grandpa. Of course, Bart builds a water slide off the roof, and then Grandpa falls off of it, and then that starts up the storyline with Bart taking care of Grandpa, trying not to let anyone catch on. But I don't know, it just felt weird how it started. It just felt weird, like how it... continued on throughout, Marge and Homer getting back from the road trip. I don't know. It didn't feel well written to me.
Actually, I entirely forgot about Marge and Homer going on a road trip at all. I forgot that
it happened on their holiday. Quickly.
Yeah, I just knew that they weren't there, and I kind of thought it was because they went on a road trip with Moe, but I forgot they were going somewhere else to start with, which doesn't make any sense. And then also, if you were going to put anyone in charge of Grandpa out of the Simpsons children, it'd be Lisa.
Yeah.
You wouldn't. So it seems to me like this seems like an episode where Yardley Smith or whoever does Lisa's voice was unavailable for a month, and so they got her to say, "Bart must be really planning something crazy if he got me tickets to these." She pre-recorded 5 lines.
Well, yeah, because she had a 2-scene storyline of her being pissed off at the Bleeding Gardens Murphy hologram, and whoever that is, can you put your phone on silent?
I mean, geez, but first off, I remember what my note was about.
Yeah?
Because Lisa's there with Janie, and we know Janie's mom will do anything for tickets.
Janie's mom's fucked up.
Sorry, it's harking back to a previous episode where Marge just says, I got the tickets to the concert, and I didn't debase myself like Janie's mom. And Janie's mom is also at the jazz concert just then, so I assume Janie's mom debased herself.
Right.
Yet again.
Wow.
Well, yeah, to get front row spots to the jazz show.
Yep.
In Springfield, you definitely need to...
debase yourself.
Yeah. You couldn't buy tickets to that and be the only person in the club.
But yeah, it felt so, trendy of the time, because the whole Tupac hologram thing happened and the internet had a horrible reaction to that, and didn't even seem to say anything about it. And yeah, had Sonny Rollins in a really weak guest spot where, you know, he did a good job, but he wasn't given good material, and it just felt shit for such an awesome jazz legend.
I can't even think of what the resolution of Lisa's storyline was. Like, they went, stop. She essentially went, stop exploiting dead artists to make money, and the company went, oh yeah, what about this? And then there's a hologram of Gandhi and Princess Di.
And that was the end of it.
And that was
the end, wasn't it? It wasn't like they succumbed to their something, or Lisa saw that capitalism is the one and only true way.
Yeah.
It was just like...
It just served the bits that it was doing. And
which weren't good bits.
I kind of liked... In theory, I'm Princess Diana, and I'm here to say that use crestboard paper. It's the only way.
Over-exploitation, yeah, it's a good gag. But
but it didn't go anywhere. I mean, that could have been a full... You could have left the Bart grandpa thing and had that be a whole B-side story. B story, not B-side.
Yeah, maybe she
None of these three stories related to each other.
Maybe she finds out that the Bleeding Gums Murphy hologram is, you know, paying for the family he left behind or something.
No, he's still alive on life support, and that's how they pay for it.
Yeah.
Ding, he's actually keeping himself alive by performing past the grave.
We did have an entire episode where they buried him, though.
Did they, Ben?
Yeah, they did, I've seen it.
Did they?
Multiple times.
Did Maggie shoot Mr. Burns?
Yes.
Or was it Smithers?
It was definitely
Or
Maggie.
the cat?
Because that's how they got Simpson DNA on the weapon.
So when the cat became part of the Simpsons family...
That's not how genetics works.
That's how family works, though, Ben. I think we've all learned something important today. All those cats we killed were actually our brothers.
So just going through
I
my
meant buried,
notes,
not killed.
there was a Nickelodeon Zoom moment. I like a good Nickelodeon Zoom gag where Grandpa's like, oh, kiss me on the head, Bart, and they do the zoom in, and it's like...
Oh, right. I was going, what the hell is a Nickelodeon Zoom? A Ren and Stimpy Zoom is what I... Yeah, right.
Yeah. I say Nickelodeon because they do it in SpongeBob as well. And Hardwood gag. Oh, yeah, where Moe's mopping the floor. And so, yeah, Moe's storyline, yeah. Thank you, Notes, for jogging my memory because this episode is so unmemorable.
That's what Notes are for.
Yep. So somehow Moe's suit leads him to having two hipsters walk into his bar and him digging out whiskey or bourbon.
Out of a jar. Yeah.
Oh, actually, yeah, I did like we'd like anything 15 years old, and he stares at the eggs, the Duran Duran record in the jukebox, and then the rat with the beard. I liked that joke. That was a good joke.
I think the super old rat was a bit weird. I was like...
It was weird, but it was a good, third thing to look at.
Yeah.
Because...
He could look at his pants or something. Anyway, it wasn't terrible.
Oh my god, you just wrote a better joke.
Hire me, Simpsons. Hire me.
Yeah.
I'll give you 2 good jokes for $100,000.
Boom. Discount.
That's pretty much what their new episodes have. 2 good jokes, and they cost them...
There you go. 2 episodes. Or waste them all on one. Who knows?
Whatever you want. Not here to tell you how to do it.
Yeah.
Just write jokes.
Was it Whiz-Waz?
And so, yeah, now Moe's a corporate high roller, and then he gets the opportunity to ring the bell of the stock exchange, and then his suit gets caught in the elevator, and it gets all ripped to shreds. Derpy derp.
It was really just one... You know that episode where Moe gets a facelift and he becomes really attractive and successful, and then a set falls on his face and he goes back to normal face?
Yes, we do.
And he's like, I realized that was me all along, and people just like the thing that I was representing or the thing that I created. Yeah. But I never changed. But it was just that episode again, but instead of a new face, it was a suit. And the suit thing was ridiculous. Like, why would you take a guy who's about to kill himself on a terrible road trip, and then to treat him, you take him and buy him a new suit when he works in a bar by himself, and if he wanted to wear a suit, he could be wearing a suit every day of his life, but he wears a t-shirt and an apron. Like, that was just... It seemed... really forced into what's that? Risky Vids? No, what's the other one? Michael J. Fox.
Doc Hollywood.
Secret of My Success.
Secret of My Success.
Where he kind of pretends to be an exective in the company.
Hollywood.
Doc
I
Hollywood.
haven't seen enough movies.
We know.
I mean, that is Michael J. Fox, so you're closer, but not much. It's it's kind of that Emperor's New Clothes, and then there's that ham-fisted moment where Marge explains the storyline of Dumbo to Moe because Moe was too busy working in the pierogi factory, which, by the way, I know is Polish dumplings, which are delicious. So that was his Disney. It's like, oh, well, this one person hasn't seen Dumbo, unlike the rest of the world. So Marge, for some reason, I'm guessing screen time, had to pad out the explanation of why he thought... Like, she never mentions Dumbo's an elephant in that explanation. She's like, he's got a feather, and he thought that could make him fly. But in the end, it was like, blah, blah, blah. And then it was like pointless. It was a pointless exposition that didn't need... Because everyone who's watching The Simpsons knows who fucking Dumbo is.
Yeah.
And then there was like a throwback to where it's like, Lisa's gone, so in this... Moe's Dumbo, his bourbon is his giant ears, and we're the racist crows. And Homer goes, it wasn't the crows that were racist, it was the people who drew them.
Wow.
Almost to just going, it wasn't the crows, it was Disney that was racist.
Yeah.
It just seemed to be a weird stab at Disney, the same way that they occasionally stab at Fox, but it was just...
At least they have reason
pointless.
to stab at Fox. Stab at 1940s Disney. Everyone knows they were kind of racist back then.
Yeah, all the white guys in the white-only, men-only building were a little bit racist.
Yeah, surprising.
But they made a great Dumbo.
And even then, I feel like...
Big elephants on display.
Even then, I feel like other cartoons did better crow jokes, as well.
Mm-hmm.
Can't think of them now.
I
did like the joke, though, with the suit where they were like, oh, what are you, a 36 wide? And he's like, no, I'm a 32 hunched.
Yeah, there's a couple
of good lines, but ultimately this felt like a paint-by-numbers thing where they got the exact wrong colours, and then they started drawing extra lines.
Well, it's just like a paint-by-numbers where they just discovered, they figured out that everything to the right-hand side of the painting was yellow, everything to the left-hand side was blue, and everything up was green. And they just go, this says 7, this says 3, but it's still green.
We'll call it nude descending staircase. That'll be enough.
Yeah.
Yes. Dude. There was I did laugh at a good gag between Bart and Grandpa where they're sliding for some reason, medicine down like a little Hot Wheels track, and they're betting on each one. And, and they're two different types. Sorry, they're sliding two different types of medication down parallel Hot Wheels track to see who wins. And Bart goes, yes, heartburn medication wins again. And Grandpa goes,
no, it's hypertension medication.
Hypertension medication. And Grandpa goes, I don't know why, call me crazy, but I just keep betting on dementia. I was like, that was all right. Like, that was a good gag, but it was a long, long time getting it.
It was padded in a bunch of styrofoam.
Yeah, it was
by the time you got there,
And look, around that whole thing, there was that good gag, and then Bart sort of, again, ham-fistedly starts going, oh, don't you think you're getting better now? And then, oh, no, boy, I need some more help. And it was so, again, like I was saying before, explaining the plot to you. And
if you don't get it, Grandpa is guilting extra time out of Bart.
And all he wants is love and time, but Bart wants his afternoons to be free. Also, he's hiding Grandpa in the basement, and nobody's noticed. Also, Grandpa has a mobile phone, according to Marge, because she tried to call him all the time, but it's an engaged signal, or busy, or whatever they say.
Yeah, sure.
Like, Grandpa's, if you call Grandpa on his mobile phone, you should expect 99 times out of 100 you don't get an answer because he doesn't know what's making the noise. I mean, he was feeding...
That would have been a better
He was
gag.
feeding a letterbox before. He'd be, spending the whole time trying to answer his shoe or something.
He's looked at the cat and the dog and before and gone, which one's the mailman?
Yeah,
that's Grandpa.
Grandpa, pick up your iPhone, and he picks up his glass eye or something.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be good. Yeah.
That'd be ham-fisted.
No, I like
you
it.
can retroactively write a better episode.
So is there any, just on the topic of Grandpa, did Grandpa as a character peak at the Flying Hellfish episode?
I think so.
Is that his best, most greatest
According
episode?
to the Simpsons Index so far, we haven't done any season 8 or 9 episodes with Grandpa in it, and then you can't assume the teens have any better episodes than that.
Or after he gets rich from his dead girlfriend?
The Flying Hellfish?
Yeah,
way
that's
after.
definitely after.
That's like 3 or 4.
But
so he peaks at what's Flying Hellfish like season 8?
Yeah,
7.
7. So he peaked 13 years ago.
Yeah.
As I think something that can carry plot. I think
oh my god, no!
Jokes.
Season 28 started this year, 20 years ago.
So not long at all, Grandpa. Pick up your game.
Well, there's that one where his kidneys explode. That's more about Homer. But there's some good jokes from Grandpa in it.
Yeah, but as a character.
Yeah, as a character that can drive a plot. Yeah, I think Flying Hellfish was his peak, and that's it.
Yeah.
Fuck, that's a good episode. You know,
Yeah,
I've actually
absolutely.
gone back and watched that again since we did the index of it.
Actually, when I went before we did the first one of this, and I looked at the ones he'd already done, I was really disappointed that was one he'd already done. I was like,
Yeah.
It is a really great episode. Well,
I haven't looked at revisiting episodes yet, and the only reason I would is just because if we got the rankings wrong, but no, I don't, like...
There's no reason to.
I stand by the rankings in that, like, I think there's a 1 rank margin of error, and, like, as in, on a good day it's gold, on a bad day it's bronze sort of thing.
Yeah, but you can't entirely remove subjectivity. So...
No.
And also, like, you're not actually handing out gold medals, so it's probably okay.
Yeah, it's pretty cheap.
No.
You're rating better than the TV Week is.
Yeah.
Oh, I sure
We
am.
rank better than the Olympics.
Speaking of which, let's go down to the road of the rankings
5.6.
via the pathway of the questionnaire. Wow, I feel like I'm already repeating myself. Anyway, have you guys seen this one before?
No, not at all.
BT?
Yeah, I'm just trying to remember which one we just watched.
I was thinking as well. The whiskey one.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure I've seen it before, like once, and I was half paying attention because my phone was more interesting.
Yeah, this is a definite phone is more interesting episode. It's really bright colours and noise.
Yeah.
Yep, which is comforting in my old age, but you know.
Yeah.
Do you see yourself watching this episode again?
Do I have a reason?
Not if I can help it.
Do I have to go through the old, if I'm on a plane and they have no other episodes, and there's no 30 Rock and no Futurama?
If I was on plane and this was the only episode playing, I'd sleep.
Yeah, I'd put it on
Yeah.
to take a nap.
No, I wouldn't even put it on to take a nap.
Oh, yeah.
I'd sleep and then wonder which of the air hostesses was the cutest.
Yeah, I'd put on the channel that's just the plane flying, and they do the little red line behind the plane.
You are here. Boo. Like,
Yeah,
okay.
I love that channel.
Most depressing channel in the world. I moved 3 millimeters an hour. God damn it.
You've still got 8 hours to go.
Thank you,
Stabby
plane
stab.
channel.
Wackiness. I don't know.
I feel like it was that episode that kind of did, but I can't think of anything. I feel like it's gone straight out of my brain. Like I've deleted it as in driving to work. It's like,
Yeah.
I don't need to remember this for any
Yeah, I'm not
reason.
going to remember this tomorrow. I think Grandpa waltzing to Waltz Waltz Revolution.
I love the Waltz Waltz Revolution gag again. In theory, it's just
But yeah, in principle, he had to somehow drag that machine down into the basement, no one noticing, and then
Set it up.
Then
And also
dance
know
to
how to
it.
use it.
yeah.
all right. Yeah, okay. There's some funny implications around
I
it,
like the idea. It's cute, but it does not belong there.
but no, the wackiness existed in the jokes, not so much the stories. Like
No.
again, this is an episode that's all over the place and so unmemorable that.
Oh, there was... Oh, sorry.
No, go on.
The wackiness I remember is like... So, Mo gets his... a thread of his suit caught in the lift. And it's
Yep.
one of
And
those...
then somehow it shreds.
It's one of those suits made entirely of one thread,
Yeah.
not pieces.
He gets his jacket thread caught, but somehow
It
later
takes his
his
pants
jacket, shirt, and pants are all
It was a
shredded.
very vicious
Again, this
elevator.
is a bit of a, hat and xylophone reference, but like when it pulls the thread and he's going down the elevator, like half of his suit from the stomach up disappears, but then when he gets to the Simpsons house, like the whole suit's pretty much there. It's just really that the shirt's disappearing and then his butt's gone.
Elliot, a wizard did it.
Yeah, the wizard did it.
Wizards. And the other one was during the launch of Maker's Mo, they made Synchronized Divers made a picture of Mo's face in the pool as a tribute to
Mo
the
and
launch.
That's
yeah.
the best thing made out of girls' parts that looks like me ever. So bad.
Again,
That's
kind
weird.
of serial killery.
That kind of again
Yeah.
sounded like they were really going for like a vagina joke somehow, but just didn't piece it together. And
I
went,
got more of an. Ed
we said
Gain
girls'
vibe.
parts.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
enough. Yeah, it became like a chopped up bit type of.
Yeah.
I've made the letters of YMCA out of dismembered corpses. You're like, good.
Yeah, well, after that bit with the 4 guys and the 1 noose and 1 girl, they make
Yeah,
images
go-
out of Mo.
Gotta go straight for the
Yeah.
girl parts.
just- Nope.
I mean,
All terrible.
you could have gone something like, usually I'm not looking that satisfied when my face is in girl parts or something. There could have been a lot of other things in there. Anyway, that's your second joke, Fox. Pay me.
Yep. I think you're up to 3 now.
I'm not giving the other one.
Nah, okay. That's yours.
But yeah, I think that's the only kind of slapsticky wackiness there was.
But yeah, overall wackiness. It was more in the jokes, not in the story. And the heart of this episode, no. I didn't feel any emotional highs at all from this.
No. Mo literally ends up back where he was.
Yep.
Saying, wait until the holidays and I'll probably kill myself again.
Yeah,
Lucy.
Looks over and not tonight, Lucy.
There is a really quick moment of Barney breaks the glass and then Mo looks to the supply cabinet where his noose is. You see him kind of walk in out of frame and then walk out with the broom and sweep out the broken glass. Like, okay, he feels a little better. He's not suicidal anymore. He's kind of accepted his bar, but then it ruins it by then looking at the noose and going, I'll see you at the holidays. It's like, you had a little bit of goodwill at the end.
It really should have ended where he goes, not tonight. Like, that's
yeah, because if you say not tonight, tomorrow night's implied. Yeah. Like, you don't need to go, not tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I also thought that was super ham-fisted as well. Like, Barney running out, the glass falling and shattering, him going to clean it up. It's just like, there really should have been like, for fuck's sake. This is my life again. And that should have been the end. Back if you wanted to end on a sad note, there's like, they wanted to make the holiday gag about more suicides during holidays. And it could have been
like a better bittersweet gag, like, and without, the holiday gag. Yeah, it just, bad ending to a bad episode.
Yeah.
And that, forced in the little piano, dun, 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 tinkling moment, like forcing the emotion. Bad. That's a very bad Simpsons.
Yeah. It's not very bad.
It's pretty average.
Any other quotable moments?
Janie's mom is still a hoe.
Janie's mom has got it going on.
In the biblical sense.
But I think that's in any sense going on is not talking about not biblical.
Oh, there was another joke about Homer's blue pants, which I'm so sick of.
They had an episode dedicated to his blue pants.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's happened
yet. Also, everyone wears the same thing all the time unless they're in a costume. So why start bringing it up about one thing?
Yep.
Yeah, but... And again, it was done with that, like, almost knowing wink. Like, I bought these pants for him 20 years ago and he's never thrown them out.
And you're going to hear that, wow, wow.
Yeah. Perhaps this foghorn... Yeah, anyway.
To answer your question.
I liked Mo, who's the president? I don't know, some jerk. Because that will be a timeless joke.
Yeah, because you made it timeless.
Yeah.
But I do like the bit where they've taken Mo to Men's Warehouse, but he's not great at reading, and he's like, Men's Whorehouse? Excellent.
Yeah.
And then that could have been a real good, we maybe discovered that Mo's a closet homosexual. And he's like, yes, Men's Warehouse. How did you guys know? They'd be like, they sell suits. And he's like, yeah, well, there could be a whole bit there, but it's just like, we've taken you to buy a suit because the plot demands it.
Oh. Well, if the plot demands it, I guess.
Yeah, because like really, if you said, if I had to ask you, Mo as a character, if you had to surprise him for one thing his birthday, and you could have $2,000 to do it, what would you give him? Like I'd think like a big barrel of pickled onions, or a flaming Mo's neon sign, or a haircut. I would never go, he's desperately a man who needs a suit but can't afford it.
No, but with the new neon sign, they go, the new Mo's, the place where the bathroom now has a light in it or something.
Yeah, it was very...
Plus, Mo has a suit. It's in that episode where they're trying to auction off bachelors.
Oh, that's
for
right.
a new fire engine.
He
and
walks onto the stage and immediately...
Welcome, Mo. He enjoys women who take their clothes off for money. And then he's strutting across in a suit.
Or where he goes to hit on Marge after she kicks Homer out and he goes, I bought you some posies.
I'm here to muscle in on his territory.
Yeah, that's right.
Also, Mo always calls Marge Midge.
Yeah.
Is a thing. That's obviously a reference they keep running into, but I don't know why.
No, I think it's just fun. It's just the weird way Mo says some things.
You're quite good at Mo as well. Mo and Marge. You should do the right... Mo and Marge watch The Simpsons.
You strike me as less of Mo and more like
Marge.
the cousin that gives Robin Williams a new face in Mrs. Doubtfire.
Oh, Harvey Firestein.
The super gay guy.
Yeah.
Oh, please. I do not sound like Harvey Firestein.
Can you say, be careful with this one, she's old?
Be careful with this one, she's old.
Yeah, see, that is the voice of a movie where that has a talking animated English bulldog. That is what that voice is.
Yep.
Yeah, Harvey Firestein, if you don't want to do a vocal recording gig, I'm available, buddy. So yeah, look, don't even need
who's asking for Harvey Firestein these days?
People, I assume.
Anyway, This didn't feel like an episode of Simpsons. I don't need to ask it. Let's rank it. Let's rank this thing. I am going to give it a fucking failure. Ooh. Like, I almost participated it, but
yeah,
it just made no fucking sense. And Phil, how about you?
I think I'll participant this one. It wasn't bad enough to make me angry, but it wasn't good enough to keep me entertained in any way.
Yeah, I feel that.
So I suppose in that way it's kind of a failure. I call it a fail-ticipant.
All right, but over like your ranking is a participant.
I'd say participant.
All right, Beej.
I'm a failed participant as well, but I'm gonna go participant mostly because I'm sitting here now. I'm genuinely struggling to remember it, and it's the ones that I hate that I want to yell at that I give the failure to. Whereas this, it just exists, and I will probably not. Tomorrow. I'll be like, what were the ones we watched the other night? What's the one with Ned being the thing with the and Homer being the guy and the thing?
Yeah.
And we watched the good one with the gun, and what was that other one? I can't remember.
I think the punny name is the only reason I'll ever remember it.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, like, this is one, like, for regretting to the one we did on episode 17 where, like, I could really go a dice roll either way on failure or participant, but mostly I'm more, like, mad that this episode didn't make sense.
Gotta go with your gut, yeah.
Yeah, and, like, unlike that one, I have a definite gut feeling of failure, but I understand the participant. Anyway, that has been episode 18 of the Simpsons Index. Woo. BT and Phil, 18. Thank you again.
Thanks for having us, or me at least.
Yeah, can't wait to do it again sometime soon. And that has been the Simpsons Index, and I am never tapping out.
Just say you say.
Thank you for checking out the Simpsons Index podcast. Don't forget to go to www.thesimpsonsindex.com for the spreadsheet and information about upcoming episodes. Yeah, can't wait to do it again sometime soon. And,
and take two.
Yep. And I feel like I've got something else to say here.
You just have to think about the credits that you want to say at the end of it, and I'll just sing a lovely lullaby. Tits and boobs and ass and clams. You know that's what you want. Then we're in the end of the song. Boobs, 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 boobs.
Just quickly going back to the ride as well. Fuck, I forgot what I was going to say. I'm sorry, I really derailed that for no reason.
Take two.
I'm going to cut this.
Just cut this bit out.
Cut it out.
Cut it out.